Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part 2 of my very detailed expert guide for attending Beyond Wonderland in Southern California. I did post part 1 of my festival guide in which we talk about so many things, including the general information about the festival, the venue, location, dates, the different types of tickets and what they come with, travel information like closest airports, hotels, Airbnbs, their COVID guidelines, the parking map, the festival map, the lineup, and the features of the Insomniac app. But in this video we have a lot more to cover as well. We're going to talk about weather and dive into what you should wear to the festival, what to bring, what to pack, the allowed and prohibited items list, how strict security is. Also go over some health and wellness tips for attending the festival, including drugs and alcohol harm reduction, what to do if you're at the festival and you or one of your friends get too lit, all the different resources that are available to you, as well as tips and resources for sober ravers attending the festival as well. And last but not least, we will get into the ADA accessibility features that are offered by Insomniac. And yeah, this really is a lot to go over, so I will actually put timestamps in the description as well as the link to part 1 of this festival guide. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Cotton Candy. I am a music festival, rave, vlogger, and content creator, so I travel the world going to different music festivals to document them through vlogs, reviews, and then afterwards make helpful tip videos about them like this one. I have not only been to Beyond Wonderland several times during my life, but I've actually been to events at the NOS Event Center for the last 15 years. My first ever event I attended there was Nocturnal Wonderland when it used to take place there, so yeah, super crazy. The point being is that this is genuinely an expert festival guide for attending Beyond Wonderland and basically any other Insomniac festival that takes place at this venue. Really quick, I just want to remind you guys, if you haven't already purchased your ticket for Beyond Wonderland or any other Insomniac festival taking place this year, please use my affiliate links, which are always available in the descriptions of my video. Shout out to anyone who has shown support already by purchasing through my links. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's jump into all the content for part 2 of this festival guide, starting with weather, because a lot of people are wondering what should they wear to the festival. So it's kind of hard to say exactly what the weather will be like so far in advance, but you can check your weather app a week before the event to get the best prediction of what the temperature will be like. Also, Insomniac Events has started to post these graphics the week of the event for every festival, where they post the highs and lows for each day. Honestly, it's really convenient and most of the time it's pretty spot on. Keep in mind that California is quite humid. So for example, 40 degrees here in Utah, where there is like no humidity, feels a lot less cold than 40 degrees in California. I would say from past experience, it's pretty good temperature during most of the festival. The only time it might be colder to a lot of people would be at the end of the night between midnight and 2, and there is a pond at the NOS Event Center which they utilize. They put all these decorations and places to hang out around the pond, so naturally it is a little colder in that area, especially in the middle of the night. As for what to wear, I would say in general, wear whatever you want. One of the best things about music festivals, specifically in America, is the fashion and creative element to the way we dress at events. I mean, you can either dress like super casual, so a t-shirt and jeans if you want, all the way to like full-on rave gear. Whatever you wear, it's totally accepted there and it's actually encouraged. I know I personally love seeing everyone's really awesome outfits. However, since it's possible that it could be chilly during the event, I would pack a light jacket. I have a couple really thin like windbreaker ones and down ones that you can kind of like roll up and fit into a backpack or hydration pack. Those are my favorite to take to events because when you're inside the festival around all of these people dancing in the crowd, you don't really feel how cold it is. But once you start leaving the festival and you're like walking back to your car or walking back to the shuttle, that's when you start to feel chilly. That's probably when you'll want your thin jacket. I'm also a huge fan of pashminas. They're not just cute, but they actually come in clutch during colder weather because you could just wear it around your neck, kind of tie it to your bag, keep it inside your bag, and they don't take up that much room. But then when it starts to get cold, you could use it as like a shawl. You could use it over your head, wrap it around you. They really are an awesome festival accessory. Another thing that's nice to have are these space mylar blankets. They're just called emergency thermal blankets. These are nice to have. I highly doubt Beyond Wonderland is going to get so cold that you need a thermal blanket, but it doesn't hurt to have one in your bag. Like, they really don't take up that much room. On that note, I just want to remind you guys that I actually have a little Amazon storefront that I created where I put all of the different festival rave essential items that you might might need at an event in this one location. The link to my little Amazon checklist are actually also always in the description of all my videos. If you're ever getting ready to attend a festival and you just want to check it out and make sure you have everything on the list that you might need, it's there. What else to wear? Good, comfortable shoes are very important at the NOS Event Center because the majority of the venue is all asphalt, meaning you're basically walking on really hard ground. If you don't have really good comfortable shoes that have enough sole support, it'll be like walking barefoot the whole festival. Like, do not show up in Converse or Vans. I mean, you can, but they have like literally no support, and your feet and ankles and legs will definitely hurt by the end of day one, and if not then definitely by midday two. If you do choose to wear very uncomfortable clothes, and even if you don't, even if you have decent shoes, I would highly recommend using the Dr. Scholl's insoles as well. They provide extra support, and I honestly swear by them. Like, back in the day before raves and festivals were mainstream, I really didn't pay attention to what I wore. I had absolutely no support in any of my shoes, and then as soon as I discovered the Dr. Scholl's insoles, it changed my life. I was like, oh my gosh, there's no reason for my feet, my legs, my whole body to be in pain. Like, just using those insoles really made such a difference and helped prevent fatigue and pain. It was great. So those are another thing in my list, but in general, I think that's everything I wanted to mention about what you should wear to the event. Let's get into my general list of what you need to bring with you to the festival, or what I suggest you bring with you. Do not forget your vaccine card or negative COVID test to attend this event. In the last video, in the first part of this guide, we do go over in detail the COVID guidelines for attending the event. As of right now, you do have to bring proof of full vaccination or a negative COVID test, so do not forget that. That is probably the most important thing for you to remember, besides bringing your ID and your wallet and your festival ticket, so your wristband. I think most people bring some sort of bag with them, whether that be a small backpack, a hydration pack, a fanny pack. I used to be a hydration pack person, but now I am mostly a backpack person, just because with vlogging and how prepared I like to be at festivals, I just prefer having a small backpack with me. I think this is the one I took to Countdown, my EDC one.
I have so much shit in this. Dude, I have my jacket, my pashmina, and the cat hat, and a water bottle, and my glasses, and everything else.
Is that vodka?
No, it's water.
No, that one's water. Is that one vodka?
Baby, that's hand sanitizer.
That's alcohol?
No, no.
It's alcohol.
So yeah, like another thing I was gonna mention was portable chargers, so like a battery bank. When it comes to like these smaller events that go from like 4 to 2, these last very long. Like, see, I use this at Countdown and it's still at half the charge. Don't forget your charging cord. There will be places to charge your phone at the festival. If you look around, there will be ones in GA and VIP, but the ones at VIP will most likely be a lot less crowded. You don't have to worry about using those though if you just bring some of these. Again, I have some cheap ones and then some heavy duty ones in that Amazon checklist. If you are not bringing a hydration pack, I would highly recommend bringing a refillable water bottle, even if that's an empty, clear, plastic, regular water bottle, because yes, they do have free water refill stations at the event, but you cannot buy water bottles there. The NOS Event Center, just like many venues, have turned to selling liquid death cans instead of water bottles because they're better for the environment. I honestly kind of hate liquid death because one, they're really expensive. They're selling them for like $4 to $5 just for one thing of water, and then they do not have a cap on it, so like once you open it, you're stuck with it. It's just not convenient. We usually bring our own sealed water bottle or empty water bottle into the event since we don't use hydration packs. Another festival essential that you absolutely have to bring with you, not just to this event, but any other live music event you attend, whether it's a festival, rave, concert, club, you need to be wearing high fidelity music earplugs so you don't damage your ears at these events. If you're a current subscriber of mine, you know that I'm an advocate for using high fidelity earplugs, specifically Eargasm earplugs. I am an affiliate of theirs, so it does help me out when you use the link in my description to buy your earplugs. However, it does not matter if you buy high fidelity earplugs from them or another company. The important thing is that you wear protection. Always wear protection. If you get to the festival and you forgot your high fidelity earplugs, or if you lose them like me, I lose them so often, then you can definitely buy some at the general store, but they're not going to be the best high high fidelity earplugs. I think they look like these, so they're not going to sound the absolute best like Eargasm earplugs would, but they will do the trick. They will protect your ears, and these will still be better than using the foam earplugs. So these foam earplugs will protect your ears, however the sound of the music will be very muted, but if it's your only option, I would definitely use them. You can get these foam ones at the Oasis, which you can locate on the festival map. They give them away in VIP at the VIP concierge. Again, the most important thing is just that you protect your ears. Don't forget hand sanitizer, especially since we are in the middle of a pandemic. Don't forget your prescribed medication. So like, for example, I use an inhaler. I actually have severe chronic asthma, which has only gotten worse since I got COVID. Like, basically it never went away. They should let you in with any prescribed medication as long as it has your name on it, matches your ID, and is not expired. If security ever gives you a problem about bringing in some medication that you need into the festival, ask to speak to one of the paramedics or medical health and safety officers. Yeah, a few other miscellaneous things that come in clutch would be gum, chapstick, eye drops if you wear contacts or have like really dry eyes. If you need them, don't forget tampons. Girls, it doesn't hurt to have like 1 or 2 extra on you just in case, because there's always one girl in the girls' bathroom who's having an emergency and needs one, so it's always great to have a couple just on hand. And if you're ever in that shitty situation, you can actually find some in the Passport Lounge, in the VIP Lounge, and at First Aid. On that note, some other things you can find at the VIP and Passport Lounges are deodorant, bobby pins, hair ties, like hair scrunchies, tissues, wipes. Honestly, they just always have a bunch of free stuff at both lounges. That was all the basic stuff I recommend you bring into the festival with you for the most part. Like I said, I do have that Amazon checklist where I feature all of the different things that I think you could use if you were going to a rave or festival. There is a full allowed and prohibited items list on their website, and I will link to that page in the description of this video because there's way too much to go over. So I do want to talk about lost and found and what to do if you lose something there and what to do if you find something there. One very crucial tip I would have to anyone who thinks they lost something super important, like your wallet, phone, or keys. Like, yes, people stealing stuff at events, especially phones, are a big issue, but don't freak out at first. Definitely want to make sure that it's actually lost. So thoroughly check your pockets, check the floor, check all your hydration pack pockets, see if anyone in your group has it. For example, when my boyfriend realizes that he is getting too drunk, he often will give me his wallet and his keys, and then he often forgets that he gave me his wallet and his keys and starts freaking the fuck out that he lost them literally every time. But if you genuinely cannot find something, you can find lost and found locations on the map. If you find something, please return it to lost and found as soon as possible, because if someone's losing it, they might be freaking the fuck out. Like, do not wait till later on in the night to return it. Get it back to its owner as soon as possible. Although I would recommend not just handing stuff off to festival staff or security guards. If you do by any chance see ground control, those are the workers in the purple shirts. They are there to look out for everyone. You can actually safely, confidently hand anything off to them and they will take it to lost and found. Okay, let's go over some health and wellness tips that you're gonna want to know if you're attending a music festival, not just for Beyond Wonderland, but any festival weekend basically. The number one most important thing is to stay hydrated, and that means drink tons of water throughout the day. Make sure you are drinking electrolytes. You can invest in these like hydration electrolyte packets. You just put them in a water bottle, and I honestly think just one of those a day will keep you very hydrated. In addition to the packets like Liquid IV, you can also drink things like Gatorade. Those have electrolytes, but I would recommend the sugar-free ones. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are free water refill stations at the event, but the problem with that is that you need to have either a hydration pack or bring your own refillable water bottle to use, because now the NOS Event Center has made the move to using Liquid Death, which is in a can. It is not easy to fill up. I mean, you can fill it up, but you'll just be stuck holding it literally all night, since you can't just like put it in a backpack or put it in your pocket. It's so inconvenient. I feel like that's just so dumb. Like, it's gonna make it harder for people to stay hydrated. But if you go to First Aid or ground control, they should definitely have water bottles, and they're always free that way. Besides staying hydrated, you're also going to want to eat healthy. Pretty straightforward and basic. Eat in general. I know a lot of people who go to these events, things are so crazy. They don't prioritize eating. It is so important that you eat something. Like, if you're drinking alcohol, really, if you just eat food, if you don't go to sleep on an empty stomach, that will help you wake up without a hangover. Just like a lot of people don't eat during a festival weekend, a lot of people also don't sleep, which is just not good for you. I would highly recommend at least taking a nap in between the days of the festival. It will help you prevent exhaustion, which literally, even if you're eating healthy and you're pacing yourself with drinking and you're trying to stay hydrated, like even if you do all that stuff and you don't sleep, you could still make yourself sick from just dancing and being on your feet constantly without having given your body a rest. So if you're not gonna sleep, please at least take a nap. And this tip is for all of my headbangers or for all of my ravers over 25. You need to make sure you do your stretches before or during the event. I know that sounds silly, but especially if you're going hard or dancing or headbanging, like you're really going to want to stretch before you do any of that stuff to prevent extreme soreness and basically just feeling like shit the next day. Honestly, I have no shame. I will genuinely stretch at the event. And I've actually gotten people to stretch with me when I go to festivals, especially if I know I'm gonna headbang. Like I will absolutely stretch in front of everyone. It is so important. I do want to dive deeper into like drugs and alcohol and also sobriety. Just a glossary term, I do know that I use the word lit a lot. Maybe you're a little older and are not familiar with the terminology exactly. When I say lit, it either means super crazy awesome or under the influence of like alcohol or party drugs like ecstasy, acid, shrooms, molly, ketamine, any of that stuff. I would use the term lit. I really only drink alcohol, so I often say I'm lit, and when I say that, I just mean I'm really drunk. So what do you do if you get too lit or are injured while you're at the festival? Some resources you're gonna wanna know about are the ground control workers, which I mentioned earlier in the video. They're a group of peers that walk around the event, checking on people, taking care of them, handing out water. You can identify them by their purple shirts, and usually they walk in groups of 2. If you need anything, definitely look around to see if you see one of them, because they are there specifically to help you out. And then they actually have a little homestead set up in the festival called the Ground Control Oasis. It's a very chill, safe, judgment-free zone. You can go if you are not feeling too well, if you are too lit, you took too much, or one of your friends did. If you have someone who's really nauseous from drinking and they like need to throw up, Ground Control does actually have throw-up bags. I know this because John got a little too lit at EDC Las Vegas and we had to get a throw-up bag. They also have a bunch of other things like those base blankets I told you about. So if you're ever at an Insomniac festival that's colder, like Countdown, they hand those out. You could also get earplugs and a bunch of other stuff there. It's really cool though, because during hotter months it is air conditioned area, and during colder events like Dream State or Countdown, it is a heated tent space. There's tons of really comfortable places to sit. They have fuzzy blankets. Really, they just try to make it a very comfortable, safe space. The ground control is great, but I do want to mention, if you or your friend is extremely sick, if there is clearly something wrong, if you clearly drank too much or took too much and need some serious help, please reach out to someone on the health and safety team immediately. So that does include roaming ground control, paramedics, security, police officers, anyone who could get you to the medical tent or have someone come to you. Their medical teams are like impressively fast in emergency situations. And all of the care they give you at the festival is actually completely free. If they take you to the medical tent, they will have you sign like a waiver saying that they can treat you, but they will not charge you while you're there. They will not send you a bill. Their number one priority is just to take care of you. And I think that's honestly really cool of Insomniac to offer that kind of stuff. Like I mentioned, I do have asthma and I've had to go to the med tent for an emergency more than a few times throughout my career of raving over the past 15 years. And also, if you're a current subscriber of mine, you know that I actually fell on my ankle and broke my ankle. It was honestly just a really bad sprain, but like my foot was like this. It was so bent and black and purple and I could not move it, and they thought it was broken and it was so horrible. But yeah, all of the care that they gave me when I got hurt, they didn't charge me at all for it. I never saw a bill. And the experiences I've had at the med tent for literally any situation I've had to go there for have always been great. Insomniac always has great medical staff. I think it's really important to mention, if you take anything away from this video, honestly, the most important thing is not to be afraid of the police officers, the security guards, the paramedics while you're there. There's this huge misconception that if you are too lit, if you are on drugs, you cannot reach out to security or medical staff because you'll get in trouble, because you'll get arrested, and no, that is not the case. Do not be afraid of them. Everyone there is there to help you, I promise. If someone is sick, if someone needs help, that is their number one priority. They are not going to arrest you, don't worry. Your safety, your well-being, and your life is way way more important than whatever you took. That's not a huge priority to them. That's not going to get in the way of them helping you. I know we just went over a bunch of stuff for people who get lit, but there are also resources at the festival for people who are sober. I was a sober raver for a really long time. If you've been following my channel for a while, like I was a sober raver until like 2018, and then that's when I started to drink alcohol. I probably need to cut back on alcohol soon because I definitely drank too much at Countdown. The first day that was kind of a mess, so I think I actually might be taking a step back into sobriety after all of the recent incidences that have happened in the past year. But yeah, the consciousness group is great. They're at every single Insomniac event, a group of like-minded sober individuals. They create kind of like a sober sanctuary where you could go and chill and get away just from like all the chaos. When I was a sober raver, there were times where people on drugs or people who drank too much were giving me really bad experiences. Like I was in the crowd and I felt like everyone was too fucked up. They were just like being really rude and running into me and like knocking my stuff over. If you're sober, sometimes you just need to get away for a little bit, and the consciousness group tent is a great place to go. On top of just being like a really chill place, they actually do hold meetings there, especially if you are recovering from addiction or alcoholism and you're there at the festival and like all the stimulation of other people doing stuff is getting too much for you. Those meetings are a good thing to partake in. I do believe that the lounges, like the VIP lounge or the Insomniac Passport lounges, are good places to get away. Also, if you're sober and kind of overwhelmed with everyone else. Yeah, I know that was a lot about talking about health and wellness for attending this event or any festival really. A lot of what I said applies to most music festivals, but last but not least, I do want to talk about ADA and accessibility accommodations that Insomniac will be offering at Beyond Wonderland Music Festival. I have not attended an Insomniac event at the NOS Event Center with ADA, but I have attended EDC Las Vegas and EDC Orlando with ADA. The first time at EDC Las Vegas, I had a lower back injury, and this past EDC Orlando, I actually was recovering from my broken ankle, and I was in a boot and on a scooter, and it was like a really horrible experience. I feel like it wasn't that ADA friendly for anyone on wheels, but I think a lot of that was the terrain's fault. Like it was really muddy and grassy. There was a lot of rocks and pebbles, and so it was just really hard to roll over. Luckily, this venue is predominantly asphalt. There are some grassy areas, but like you don't need to go through them to get to any of the stages, to get to any of the bathrooms. This venue and then also the EDC Las Vegas venue are great for this reason. There are ADA bathrooms at all of the bathroom areas, so whether that's the GA bathrooms or the GA Plus bathrooms, there are some in the VIP area as well. I did talk about this a little bit in part 1 of the festival guide. There is a separate entrance and parking lot for ADA at the venue. However, you do need to have an ADA placard to park in there. After you park there, right when you enter the venue, there is going to be an ADA access center where you'll pick up your ADA wristband, which will grant you access to all of the ADA platforms at the stages, and they do give you an extra one so you can have a companion with you on the elevated platforms. I'm very glad that I did have the experience of attending with ADA recently so I could give this feedback, and I do think I'm going to come out with a whole video about attending Insomniac festivals or any festivals with ADA and some tips and helpful information you're going to want to know. So if you're watching this and you're attending with ADA, if you're in a wheelchair or on a scooter or have an injury, definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that video coming soon, hopefully. I'll try to get it out as soon as I can. I literally have so many videos I want to do for you guys, it's crazy. There's actually more information about attending with ADA on the Beyond Wonderland website, and I will link to that page in the description of this video. There's also a contact email in case you have any questions, suggestions, or comments about accessibility at their festival. A side tip, one of the oldest tips in the Raven Festival book is to set a meetup spot with your partner and your friends in case you guys get separated. Of course, most of us have like our phones and could reach out to each other if one of us were to get lost. However, if you're ever in a situation like you have really crappy cell phone service, your cell phone died, you lose your cell phone, or think you did, it's nice just to have that meetup spot. And that is finally it for my very extensive, detailed, expert Beyond Wonderland Festival guide. I hope you found these videos helpful, but feel free if you have any more questions to drop them in the comment section of this video or any of my videos really, and I will try to answer them the best that I can based on my expert experience. If you haven't already purchased your tickets to Beyond Wonderland or any of the other Insomniac festivals happening this year, please use my affiliate links to purchase your tickets. It really helps me out, and it actually allows me to continue to make really entertaining and helpful content about all of these festivals I go to help people who attend them in the future. I do have so many Beyond Wonderland videos on my channel. I've been going for years, so I have a whole playlist that I will drop the link to in the description if you want to check them out. I have vlogs of all the festivals, more helpful tip videos specifically for VIP, all that good stuff. But if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, definitely do so and hit the bell so you're notified when I post more awesome videos about all the festivals I go to. Stay tuned for tons of content. It's gonna be a really awesome year. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys again for watching, and until next time, peace out, Rave Scouts.